ॐ हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषणपावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. I welcome everybody to the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna program by Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. Yoga is the science of conquering the mind. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Today we'll discuss about Omkara by Dr. Indulata Das, Director Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. I am Indulata Das. The unique letter Om, Omkara. What is the meaning of Kara and what is the meaning of Om? Kara means letter. Omkara means the letter Om. So Omkara does not mean anything else. It is meaning of Omkara is the letter Om. Kara means letter. Now what is a letter? The sound is the letter, not the written form. So Omkara means the Om sound is the letter. The written form is not the sound, not the letter, it is the symbol. Now let us see why it is so important. Omkara secures Himalayan importance in Indian rituals, Indian philosophy, Indian spirituality. No other letter, no other sound, or no other word receives so much of importance in Indian system, Indian spiritual system, Indian philosophical system, or Indian spiritual system. No other letter, no other sound, no other word receives so much importance, half of, or 1/4, or 1/10, or 1/100th of the importance that Om gets. Now, Omkara is highly praised by our sages in our scriptures. The praise of Omkara will speak what Omkara is, how important Omkara is. Then let us see the praises. If we see the praises, then only we cannot see all the praises written in all our scriptures because thousands and lakhs of praises are there. Only we will see only a few praises written in a few important books. Now, the Mandukya Upanisad says entire creation is just a fabrication of Om. Om iti etadakharamidang sarvam tasya upapakhyanam bhutang bhavat bhavishyat iti sarvam omkara eva jachanya trikalatitam tadapi omkara eva. Which means the letter Om is everything, the past, present and future, all these are expressions or fabrications of Omkara. That which is beyond the three periods, what about that? That is also Omkara. So there is nothing which is outside Omkara. Omkara is everything. Omkara is the whole universe came to existence from Omkara. Those things which belong to the past, present, and future, they are also expressions, fabrications of Omkara. That which are beyond the three periods, they are also Omkara. Now again we see the praise. Omkara is praised in Chanting of Upanisad as all-pervading. Omkara eva idam sarvam. Chanting of Upanisad says all this certainly is Omkara, and there is nothing which is beyond Omkara. Omkara, everything is a manifestation of Omkara. Then Mandukya Karika says Sarva Vyapinam Omkara. Omkara is all pervading. Then we again see praise in Katha Upanishad. Katha Upanishad said Etad Alambanam Sreshtam Etad Alambanam Param. This support is the greatest and this support is the highest support. Omkara is the highest support. It is the supreme support. It is the greatest support. This is the praise in Katha Upanishad. Then again in Katha Upanishad, it not only praises Omkara, it praises the knower of Omkara also. What about the knower of Omkara? He who knows the mystery of Om, what about him? Etadalambanam gyanta brahmaloke mahiyate. One is worshipped in Brahmaloka by knowing Om. One who knows the mystery of Om, understands, realizes the mystery of Om, he is worshipped. Mahiyate. Mahiyate means worshipped. He is respected, highly respected. In where? Not in this loka, but in Brahma loka. And what is Brahma loka? Where is Brahma loka? Brahma loka is the highest of all lokas. And how many lokas are there? Superior lokas. There are inferior lokas also, and there are superior lokas also. There are 7 superior lokas. Bhuhu Bhuvaha Swaha Mahajana Tapa Satya. Bhuhu is this world, then Bhuvaha Swaha Mahajana Tapa and Satya. Satya is the Brahmaloka. Satya Loka is called Brahmaloka, so that is the highest loka. These are the 7 lokas. And the latter ones are superior to the former ones. That means Bhuva Loka is superior to Bhuloka. Swaha is superior to Bhuhu. Maha is superior to Swaha, Jana is superior to Maha, Tapa is superior to Jana, and Satya is superior to all these lokas. And the knower of Brahma Loka goes to, knower of Omkara goes to Brahma Loka. Not only he goes there, he is respected, highly respected, he is almost worshipped in Brahma Loka. So this is the importance of Omkara. Now, again in Kathopanishad it is said about the knower of Omkara. The knower of Omkara gets whatever he wants. There is nothing which he cannot get. Etadevaksharam gyatva jo jad ichchati tasyatat. By knowing this, one gets whatever he wants. All one's desires are fulfilled by the knowledge of Omkara, by realization of Omkara. Again we see praise, that is in Kathopanishad. Goal, it is the goal of every spiritual endeavour, all our spiritual activities. This Omkara is the goal of all our spiritual activities. It is said in Kathopanishad, Sarve Vedajat Padamamananti Tapangsi Sarvani Chajat Vadanti Jadichato Brahmacha Jadichanto Brahmacharyang Charanti Tatte Padang Sangrahena Brabimi Omitietat. The god of death explains to Nachiketa. He said, everything is Omkara, and all our spiritual endeavors, all our and whatever we want to, all our penances and all our celibacies, everything is meant to get one thing, attain one thing, that is Omkara. So he said, Om is the state for which all Vedas speak. It is the state for which rigorous penance is practiced by yogis, sannyasis. It is the state for which rigorous brahmacharya is observed. So this is the place, this is the state, this is the Omkara is that state, that place for which everything is, all our spiritual activities are done. Now let us see it from a different angle. All activities related to yajna, sacrifice. There are many yajnas, and all our activities which are related to yajna, all these activities start with Omkara. All our activities to dana, charity, those activities also start with Omkara. Then all our activities related to tapaha or austerity or penance, these also start with Omkara. So Omkara, everything auspicious should start with Omkara. Omkara is so pious, so sacred, that everything good, everything beneficial, everything auspicious should start from Omkara. Now Omkara is the abode of, it is the abode of place of immortality. There is a story in Chandogya Upanishad. In every Upanishad, we find the praise of Omkara. In Chandogya Upanishad, there is a story which says that gods wanted to be immortal. They wanted to be immortal. They were afraid of death. They wanted to avoid death, and they wanted to go beyond death. And they took refuge in the Chandas, or they resorted to the Karma Kandas of the Vedas. They did the rituals of Vedas. Then they found that they are visible to the god of death. They can be caught by the god of death. Then they took refuge in Omkara, and then they became immortal. Once they took refuge in Omkara, then they became immortal. So long as they were taking refuge in Chandas, in the Karma Kandas of Vedas, they could not avoid death, and they were visible. They could be they could be captured by death. So they took refuge in Omkara and they became immortal. Therefore, gods are immortal. They don't have to die. Now let us see what are the other names of Omkara. Omkara, Pranava, Shabda Brahman, Nada Brahman. These are the main names of Omkara. Then Om is a letter. Om is also a single letter word. And Om is also a single letter mantra. It is a letter, one letter. It is one letter. It is a word, single letter word. And it is also a mantra which has a single letter. Now, identification of matras of Om with quarters of Atma. Om is one letter, but it has matras. And the matras of Om, how it is, all the matras of Om are identified with quarters of Brahma or quarters of Atma. It is described in Mandukya Upanisad. And matras of Omkara are the O, U and Ma are the matras. These are not letters, these are matras of Omkara and Om. The Om is Amatra or the partless Omkara. Like this, we can make four parts, or we can divide Omkara like this. The Mandukya Upanisad has divided Omkara like this: O, U, then Ma, and then Omkara, the full Omkara. Now then the four quarters of Atma, or the four states of Atma. Number 1 is Vaishvanara, number 2 is Tajasa, number 3 is Prajna, then number 4 is Turiya or Chaturtha. Now what is Vaishvanara? Vaishvanara is the Jagrat state, the waking state. The purview of action of a Vaishvanara is a Jagrat or waking state. The consciousness in Vaishvanara is confined to external world. It is Bahisprajna. It has 19 mouths. It has 19. It acquires things by 19 mouths. Ekona Vinshati Mukha. 10 Indriyas, 5 Pranas, and 4 Antakaranas. Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta. There are 4 Antakaranas in Vedanta, and there are 3 Antakaranas in Yoga. In Yoga, the 3 Antakaranas are Buddhi, Ahankara, and Mana. Because it is Upanishad, and Upanishad are Vedanta literatures, therefore here there is the mention of 4 Antahkaranas. Then we come to the 7 links. It is Saptanga, sky, moon, wind, sky, sun, wind, ether, and Akasa, water, earth, and sacrificial fire. These are the 7 limbs of Saptanga. Then Vaishvanara enjoys gross objects only. Sthula book, it can enjoy only Sthula, the gross objects. It cannot enjoy Sukma things. So it is written in Mandukya Upanisad, Jagarita sthana Vaispragyaha Saptanga Ekona Vinshati Mukhaha Sthula Bhak Vaishvanara Prathama Padaha. Mandukya Upanisad. Now, how it is related to Omkara? The O-matra of Omkara is identified with Vaishvanara state of Atma. So O is identified with Vaishvanara. Now we come to Tajasa. Tajasa is the Swapna state. The purview of action of Tajasa is Swapna or a dream. Swapna means a dream where there is, Swapna means sleep where there are dreams. So Tajasa, the purview of action is Swapna state or the sleep state. Consciousness is confined to internal world, Anta Pragya. 19 mouths, 19 mouths, the same, 10 Indriyas, 5 pranas, 4 antakaranas, and 4 antakaranas are mana, buddhi, Omkara, and chitta. The 7 limbs, sky, sun, wind, ether, water, earth, and sacrificial fire. It enjoys subtle objects only. Prabhivikta bhuk. It cannot enjoy sthula, gross things. So in Mandukya Upanishad we find Swapna sthano by antah pragyaha. It is written wrongly, it's not antas pragya, it has to be antah pragyaha. Saptanga ekona vinshati mukhaha pravivikta bhuk taijasa ditya padaha. This is Mandukya Upanishad. Who is identified with taijasa? The second matra of Omkara, that is U, that is identified with taijasa. Now there is the third, that is called pragya. The purview of action of pragya is deep sleep. Earlier taijasa, the purview of action of taijasa was simple sleep with dreams. It is deep sleep without dreams. Here it does not dream, does not desire anything. In dreams we desire. If there are dreams, we can desire, but when there is no dream, one is in deep sleep, he does not desire anything. It is a mass of consciousness, pragya, or deep sleep, or susupti. It is a mass of consciousness. It is filled with bliss, and it enjoys. What does it enjoy? It neither enjoys the gross things nor the subtle things. It enjoys bliss only. Ananda bhuk. Yatra supta na kanchana kamam kamayate na kanchana swapnam pashyati tat susuptam. Susupta sthana ekibhutah pragyana ghana eva anandamayo yananda bhuk chetomukha pragyastutiyah padaha. This is the third pada or the third quarter of Atma, that is called pragya. This is Mandukya Upanishad. Then how it is related to Omkara? Ma is identified with pragya. Ma is the third part of third matra of Omkara, that is identified with pragya. Now we come to the Turiya, or the fourth or Chaturtha part of quarter of Atma. This is neither Bahis pragya, nor Anta pragya, nor Ubhayata pragya, Nanta pragyang na Bahis pragyang na Ubhayata pragyang. It is unseen, unrelated, incomprehensible, undefinable, unthinkable, indescribable, no trace of the conditioned world, peaceful, blissful, non-dual. This is Atma. Adrushtam abhyavaharyam agrahyam alakhanam achintyam abhyapadeshyam patyasarang prapanchapasamam santam shivam advaidam chaturtham manyante satma. This is Mandukya Upanishad. This is partless Omkara is identified with this Atma. Now Om is the synonym of Brahma. Now Katha Upanishad says Eta Devakharang Brahma. This letter is Brahman. Now Taittiriya Upanishad says Om iti Brahma. Then Manusmriti also says Ekakharang Parang Brahma. This is the one letter Param Brahma. Now Gita says Om ityekakharang Brahma. The single letter Om is Brahman. Then Sankara says Brahmano nedishtam abhidhanam Omkara. Om is the nearest expression of Brahma. It is wrongly written as Om. This should be Brahma. Om is the nearest expression of Brahma. This is Sankara Bhashya, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is wrongly written as Om. Now Para and Apara Brahma, whether Om is Para Brahma or Om is Apara Brahma, Om is identified with both Para Brahma and also Apara Brahma. In the beginning we discussed that there is nothing beyond Omkara, so both Para Brahma and Apara Brahma, they are also known as Saguna, Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma. Om is identified with the Saguna Brahma and also identified with the Nirguna Brahma. In Mandukya Karika we find Pranavascha Parang Brahma, Pranavascha Parahasmutaha. Now we come to another discussion, Om and Iswara. Iswara is a very famous word, familiar word. Now we'll discuss the Iswara of Vedanta and Iswara of Yoga and if they are related to Omkara. Now, Om and Iswara of Vedanta. Iswara of Vedanta is the personal God of individual. Both Jiva and Iswara reside in the same tree, that is the tree of a body. दासुपन्ना सजुजा सखाया समानं दुःखं परिसस्वजाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादि स्वाद्वो अत्ति अनश्नन्यो अभिचाकसीति. This is Mandukya Upanisad. Two friendly birds live in the same tree. One of them, that is Jiva, eats the fruits of the tree. The other, Iswara, does not eat but is an onlooker only. Iswara is in the same body and Jiva is in the same body. Whereas Jiva eats the fruits of he does actions and he consumes the results of his actions. But Iswara does not do anything and Iswara also does not consume the result of the actions, any action. So like this is the difference between Jiva and Iswara in Vedanta. And both Jiva and Iswara are the products of Maya. Iswara and Jiva are like two calves of the cow of Maya. If Maya is compared to a cow, then both Iswara and Jiva are two calves of the same Maya. Maya khaya kamadhenoha vatso jiveswara bhubho. This is Panchadasi. Panchadasi is a very famous book of Vedanta. Then Iswara, how Iswara is related to Omkara? Yes, Iswara is also related to Omkara. Mandukya Karika says, Pranabang Iswarang Vidyatrudi Sarvasya Samsthitam. Pranaba is Iswara, which is in the heart of everybody. Now we come to the Iswara of Yoga. Whether Om has anything to do with Iswara of Yoga? Yes. Om, Iswara of Yoga is very much different from Iswara of Vedanta. Iswara of Yoga is a Purusha. Purusha in Yoga is the consciousness and Iswara is none other than a Purusha. But it is a special kind of Purusha, not like other Purushas. It is a special Purusha who is untouched by Klesha, Karma, Vipaka and Asaya. Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, Asaya, Paramustaha, Purusha, Vishesha, Iswara. Now what is Klesha? Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha and Abhinivesha. These are the 5 kleshas. Then karma are good karmas and bad karmas, good actions and bad actions. Then the vipaka, the results of the actions are vipakas. And asaya, the related desires, tadanuguna vasana are the asaya. So, Iswara has nothing to do with karma, klesha or vipaka or asaya. He is free all the time. He was free, he is free, he will be free from all these things. Om is the expression word of Iswara. Now, how Om is related to Iswara of Yoga? Yes, Om is the expression word of Iswara or Om is the name of Iswara. Tasya vachakaha pranabha. Now, method of chanting Om. Now, we have a little idea about the greatness of Omkara. Now, how to make use of our knowledge? Now, method of chanting Om. How to chant Om and how to be benefited by the chanting. We should sit in a lonely place. It should be a lonely place to chant Omkara. Omkara is not chanted in a crowded place. Tato rahasya upavishtaha Siva Sangita says. The sadhaka should sit in a lonely place to chant Omkara. Then sitting erect. One has to sit. This is very important. One has to sit in order to chant Omkara. One cannot lie down on the ground and chant Omkara. Some people are now lying down on the ground and they are chanting Omkara. While doing Savasana, they are chanting Omkara. No. One has to sit erect and sit in a particular asana in order to chant Omkara. Trirunnatam sthapya samang sarirang. This is Svetasvatra Upanishad. Sitting erect is necessary. The yoga practitioner should keep his chest, neck and head erect in order to chant Omkara. Then all Indriyas should be under control. When we chant Omkara, our Indriyas should not run here and there. Sadhaka sanjate Indriya, again Shiva Samhita. While chanting Omkara, the sadhaka should keep all his Indriyas under control. Then chanting should be as lengthy as possible. Pranabang Prajapet Dirgham, Shiva Samhita. The sadhaka should chant Omkara lengthily. Very lengthily, we have to chant it as lengthy as possible. We have to make it as lengthy as possible. Because when the practical reason is that when we chant Omkara, no other vritti enters the mind. So what we are doing in yoga, we are arresting the chitta vritti, yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. That is our aim, that is our goal. Our goal is to arrest the vrittis of the chittas. So long as we are chanting Omkara, no other vritti can enter the mind. Therefore, we should chant Omkara as lengthy as possible. Now, here's benefits of chanting Omkara. What are the benefits of Omkara chanting? Now, Omkara removes obstacles of yoga on the path of yoga. There are many obstacles on the path of yoga, as we know, and Omkara is the best method to remove the obstacles on the path of yoga. Pranabang Prajapet Dirghang Vignanang Nasa Hetave Shiva Samhita says. The sadhaka should chant Omkara very lengthily. Dirghang Prajapet. It destroys his obstacles on the way of yoga. Now, let us explain this statement. How, why it is said so. We have to see what are the obstacles of yoga and how it can be removed. Patanjali has summarized the obstacles like this. Vyadi sthana sangsaya pramada alasya abhirati bhranti darsana vaddha bhumikatva anavastitatvani chitta vikhepas te antarayaha. So these are the 9 obstacles he has enumerated here. These may be divided into 2 categories, physical and mental. These are the 2 categories under which they will come. So Omkara chanting produces profuse energy in the body. It counters all physical problems. Omkara chanting is very helpful for countering physical problems. We will discuss it later on. Then we come to the mental problem. Disturbed mind is cause of all mental problems, and it also causes physical problem. A disturbed mind is also the cause of many physical problems. Om chanting produces great concentration, and it counters mental distractions, and mental problems are countered. Once the mind is calmed down, there will be no mental problems, and also as a result there will be no physical problems. So there will be no obstacles on the path of yoga. So now we come to Shvetasvatara Upanishad. It says Om destroys all spiritual obstacles in total. It says Trirunatang sthapya samang sarirang hudindriyani manasa sannivesya Brahmodupena pratareta vidwan sutangsi sarvani bhaya vahani. This is Shvetasvatara Upanishad. Shvetasvatara Upanishad says the yoga practitioner should keep it. The yoga practitioner here, the spelling is mistaken. The yoga practitioner should keep his chest, neck and head erect. He should draw the mind and Indriyas into the heart. Then the wise should cross all the dreadful currents of the world by the raft of Omkara. So he can cross all the obstacles on the path of spirituality by the chanting of Omkara. Omkara purifies life, or it removes sin, says Shiva Samhita. Now what is a sin? Let us discuss what is a sin after all. Nisiddha karma karane papam bhavati nishchita. Any prohibited action is a sin. If we are doing any prohibited, any morally or otherwise, physically, mentally, then it is a sin. So sins may be deliberate or non-deliberate also. Unknowingly also we commit some sins. Then for deliberate and non-deliberate sins, Om chanting is the best method to remove all sins. Maharishi Manu, great Maharishi Manu the Great, he has written, Sahasra Kruttvastasta Abhyasya सहस्रकृत्वस्तु अभ्यस्य बहिरेत त्रिकं द्विजः महत्त्वेन सो मासात् त्वचेद बाहिर विमुच्यते. If the Brahmana chants the Omkara along with Vyahruti and Gayatri 1000 times daily, he has to chant Omkara 1000 times daily along with the Vyahrutis and Gayatri mantra. Then he gets rid of his greatest sins, like a snake gets rid of his slough. So it is like all our sins will be destroyed by the chanting of Omkara. Now let us explain it why he said so. A wrong action generates impure impressions in the mind. Once we commit a sin, it creates some impressions in the mind. Then sanskara, bad sanskara, wrong sanskara. Then a sinner's mind is gradually polluted and he faces moral and spiritual downfall. Gradually, one after another, if he goes on committing sins, then his mind is polluted and he faces a moral downfall or spiritual downfall. Then a rigorous Om chanting fills his mind with positive impressions. Then mind is gradually purified and practitioner ascends spiritually. It is correctly said, Japato nasti patakam. If one practices japa only of any mantra, then he will have no sins. There will be no deposit of sins in him. And what to speak of the chanting of a mantra like Omkara. So if one chants Omkara regularly, then there will be no deposit of sins in his life. Now, Om and intellectual pursuit. That is also very important in our tradition. Om is very important in our study and intellectual pursuits. Om enhances retention power in the brain. Maharishi Manu's strict advice to the Guru Sishya duo. He has advised both the Guru and the Sishya to start study by chanting Om and end the study by chanting Om. So he instructs to start and end, both start and end teaching and learning with chanting Om. He says, Brahmanaha pranamam kurjat adabante cha sarvada sravatyanam krutang purvang parastacha visirjati. He says, the teaching learning of Veda must start and end with Omkara. There is leakage in knowledge if it does not start with Omkara. The knowledge will leak if one does not start study by chanting Omkara. And if he does not end his study by Omkara, then what will happen? His knowledge will become weak if he does not end with Omkara. Now why so? Let us explain it. Utterance of Om creates vibration in the brain. An excellent exercise. This is an excellent exercise for brain. And mind is highly concentrated, as I told earlier, that no other vritti can enter the mind. So retention capacity in the brain certainly increases by chanting of Omkara. And then the study, learning, teaching, learning process becomes more fruitful than otherwise. If it is done without Omkara, then it will be less effective. And if it is done with Omkara, then it will be more effective. Now, therefore, it is said that Omkara is the essence of the three Vedas. Omkara is associated with knowledge. Omkara is deeply associated, inseparably associated with knowledge. Therefore, it is called the essence of the three Vedas. Vedas are the knowledge. From Vid Dhatu, the word Veda is derived. Veda means knowledge. The creator, Manu says, the creator milk the O and Ma from the three Vedas respectively. He also milked the Bhu, Bhuva and Soha in the same way. He writes, Akarang cha Pyukarang cha Makarang cha Prajapati Veda Traya Niraduhat Bhurbhuva Swariti Ticha. Veda is the knowledge, being the milk of the Vedas. Omkara is the embodiment of all knowledge. Therefore, the study, teaching, learning process must start with Omkara chanting and must end with Omkara chanting. Now, let us come to the religious rituals. We people, Indians, we are very much religious. Now, let us see if Omkara has anything to do with our religious rituals. Om is inseparable from religious rituals. There can be no religious ritual without Omkara. Etadaksharam etang cha japan vyahruti purvikang sandhyor veda vid vipro veda punyena jujyate. The knower of Vedas should chant Omkara, the Gayatri, along with the Vyahrutis during the Sandhya rituals twice daily. Not only occasional rituals, but every day, day-to-day rituals, religious rituals done during the Sandhya should also be associated with Omkara. By doing so, he gets the merits of studying the Vedas. So he gets the knowledge. Knowledge, as I told, that knowledge, Vedas are the embodiment of Vedas represent knowledge, and this Brahmana or a good man, he chants Omkara while doing the Sandhya rituals daily. Then he gets the punya, merits of studying the Vedas. Omkara chanting is so powerful that he gets the punya of reading the Vedas. If he only chants Omkara twice daily. Now we come to very practical thing, Om and the physical health. Swami Shivananda Saraswati, who is a doctor himself and is a yogi himself, what he has written about physical health and Omkara. He writes in his book Meditation on Om, this is page 54, Meditation on Om. He writes, chanting of Om is a potent, easily available tonic and specific for all diseases. Om is a panacea or sovereign remedy for all ailments. Then again he writes, chanting of Om means going near to the source and tapping the cosmic energy which is inexhaustible. It is unending. It never comes to an end. So we are going to get the cosmic energy by chanting Om. Then again he writes, all pathogenic or disease causing germs are destroyed by or burnt by the vibration of Om. You can chant Om while sitting on any comfortable asana in your room for the purpose of regaining, maintaining or improving your health. This is Meditation on Om, page 54. Here one thing I have underlined it, that you should chant Om while sitting on any comfortable asana. He did not say that you lie down and you chant Omkara. This is very important. We have to sit while verbal chanting or murmuri Upanshu chanting or verbal chanting of Omkara. We have to sit erect on an asana and then only we can chant Omkara verbally. Yes, mental repetition can be done while lying or like that. There is no rules for that. There is no restriction for that. But if we are chanting verbally or upanshu, murmuringly, then we have to sit on an asana and then we have to chant. No lying down on the ground and chanting Omkara. Now Om on deathbed gives liberation. Now we come to the end, deathbed. Now how Om helps us on our deathbed. The final thought before death determines the life after death. What will happen to us after death is determined by the final thought that we entertain when we are going to die. Therefore, Gita writes very nicely, very specifically, it writes that Jang Jang Vapi Smaran Bhavam Tyajatyante Kalevaram Tang Tam Eveti Konteya Sada Tad Bhava Bhavitaha. That means whatever one thinks while dying attains the same. He attains the same after death. He becomes the same after death. And there is a story that a great sage, he was almost going to be liberated, but at the time of death, he thought about the deer. He thought about a deer, and he had to take bath as a deer in his next life. So this is what happens at the time of death. Now, if one chants Omkara on the deathbed, then he is liberated. This is said in Gita. Now, in Gita, Lord Krishna says, Sarvadvarani sanjamya manohrudi nirudhyacha mudhnadhayatmanah pranamastita yogadharanam omityekakhyarang brahma vyahranma manusmaran yah prajati tyajan dehang sajati paramangati. Which means the yogi should close all his openings, all the doors of the body. Then he should confine the mind in his heart. He should hold the prana in the head. With high concentration, yoga dharana. With high concentration, he should chant Omkara and remember me, the Lord, at the time of death. He would attain supreme goal. If he does like this, then he would attain supreme goal. Now let us come to conclusion. What should we do? How to make use of Omkara? How to be benefited by this great treasure? Now, Mandukya Upanisad has said, Pranabo dhanuhu saro hyatma brahma tal lakhyam uchyate apramattena vedhavyam sarvattanmayo bhavet. Omkara is the bow, Atma is the arrow, Brahman is the target. Dart the arrow and hit the target and be one with Brahman. This is Mandukya Upanishad. In Upanishad, in Vedanta, the Atma or the Jivatma is none other than the Atma, the Brahma, but it does not know that it is the Brahma. So, in order to realize that he is Brahman, one should take help of the Omkara bow. Omkara is the bow and Atma is the arrow. And Brahman is the target. He has to send the Atma to Brahma. This is imaginary sending. He has to dart the arrow from Omkara and hit the target and be one with Brahma. He can be Brahman by chanting Omkara. The straight meaning is like this. If he goes on chanting Omkara again and again, he will be one with Brahma. That is not union with Brahma. He becomes Brahma. He becomes Brahma. There is no union in Vedanta. Atma means the Jivatma, that is transformed into Brahma. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. Brahmavid becomes Brahma. So one reaches the Brahmahood by the help of Omkara. So let us take the help of Omkara and be liberated in this life. I must thank you for listening to this lecture, and I shall be happy if you have any question. You may write it in the comment box. I shall be happy to answer it. Thank you.